Hi guys, while writing the test cases, sometime we need to decide the return value of the function. In other words, we call it as a mocking of the function. To demonstrate that, I have created one functional component named app. In this app component, I have created one local state using use state hook. This use state hook gives us get value as a getter, set value as a setter. So the value we get from get value, we are showing it directly on the screen. Initially the value is empty, that's why there is nothing between hello code sandbox and start editing to see magic happen. Now there is the second function, that is set random value function. We call this function when we click on the button. We have this on click listener. When we call this function set random value, inside this function we call another function generate random value, and this generate random value function coming from other file, that is util. If I go inside that file, you'll find out we have this generate random value function, and basically this function return a random value using math. Now that random value we set using set value, and whatever the random value we set, we get that random value using get value and we represent it on the screen. So when we click on this click here button, we directly see this random value which is coming from this function. Now to write test cases for this app component, I have created one test folder, and inside that test folder I have created one app.test.js file. I have added some boilerplate code already. So in this code, I just written one simple test named mocking method output, and inside that test case, I am rendering the app component, the component I have showed you, and then we are catching this button using click here name. So for that, I have used screen.getByText. This will gives us a button. Then we are clicking on this button using fire event dot click method. Inside the click function, I have passed this button. So let us assume that whenever we click on this button, we are getting some random value. Let's say that we are getting 0.14 value, and we are just expecting this value to be inside this document, that we must see that value somewhere in this component. Now when I run this test, this test failed. So as you can see, I have run this test, and in this test you can see unable to find element with the text 0.14. And the reason is, if we go inside our app component, we'll find out that we are getting random value over there. We don't have any control on this generate random value method. Now to decide whatever the value we get from generate random value method we are displaying on the screen, we need to spy this method. So for that, what we can do, before calling that event, we can spy that method. To spy that method, first of all, we need to import the file in which we have that function. So we have that function inside util.js. So I will import that file. I will import star as that file name, or whatever name we want to call it, util file. Okay, we must call it in this fashion. Now we got all the functions from util. What we can do here is, to spy, we can write jest.spy on. In this spy on, first of all, we need to pass this import, and the second parameter should be the name of the method we want to spy on. So generate random value is the method. We have this util.js file. We want to spy this method, right? Now as we have added, we get next method on this, which is mock implementation. So in mock implementation, we can mock this generate random value function. I will mocking this, and I will just say it as this function return us value as 0.14. So once I made the changes, test suite is running, and as you can see, we are getting this test pass. So what we have done here is, we just mock the value of generate random value function which we have in this util file.